Hey everyone! I know it's late and this is kind of unexpected and unannounced, but I got back from Chicago and going to Round 1 today, and I thought I'd just go live and talk about it, since apparently I can't go live from mobile. Today I learned you need 1,000 subscribers to go live on YouTube from mobile. Now I know. Um, anyway, I actually this is I might play some Gitadora, but mostly I just kind of like threw this together because this is where most of the equipment already was. Although I actually had to kind of throw everything back together because a lot of the pieces, like the main camera and the microphone and the mixer and all that kind of stuff, I had co-opted for Belinda and my karaoke nonsense stream a few days ago, and I hadn't brought it back or hadn't put it all back yet, so I just kind of like threw it all together real quick, and I was like, go live. Where my stream key is apparently different for reasons I don't know, but who knows. Um, anyway, so that was that. So if things look a little bit weird, like I can already tell this camera is a little blown out. It's a little bit brighter than I would normally have it. And actually, that's interesting because I don't have the lights on that I normally would. But yeah. So there's that, and it's kind of in a different place. And then the overhead cameras are a little dark, which I think is because the cameras, the lights aren't on, the big lights. Obviously the like room lights are on, but I mean like the video lights are not on. So anyway, hopefully some people will file in, or if not, that's okay. I guess I can just talk to myself for a few minutes. But so yeah, went up to Chicago and visited the North Riverside Park Mall Round 1 location, and got to play some rhythm games that aren't mine, and got to play some games that I don't have and don't get to play that often, and was had a good time. Only there for a couple of hours though, so didn't really get to see or do a ton. But I at least got to play a few games, and as seems to always be the case for me, so Konami does server maintenance on EMUs, on the EMUs network, but they do it like in what is the middle of the night in Japan, or very, very early morning, I guess. But of course, that falls right smack in the middle of the afternoon in the U.S., and so yeah, I don't know what it is, but I always seem to end up at Round 1 during server maintenance. And it happened again today, so I got to play one game on EMUs, and then everything else was offline, so kind of familiar to me, I guess. Hey, Nahun, how you doing? Yeah, this is a Cuphead shirt. Belinda got me this one. It's fun. Cuphead. I do like games that are... I do like non-rhythm games. Although, to be fair, Cuphead is almost a rhythm game. Because it's all about, like, pinpoint timing and getting through patterns and, and getting really frustrated. Because it's so goddamn hard. But it's a great game. Pretty fun. So, anyway, let me... While I'm waiting for people to kind of file in, and if they have any questions, go ahead and throw those out. But I'm gonna like turn some light. I'm gonna sneeze a bunch of times, and then I'm gonna turn some lights on, and hopefully even out the lighting in here. I probably need to reset the main camera. It was interesting because it was actually still set for the white balance was still set for karaoke the other night, and of course we were doing that up in the living room, which has very warm yellow like house lighting rather than the cool white like camera lighting that I usually use on stream. So when I turned the camera on for this stream, it was still set to the other settings, and of course everything looked super, super blue. I thought about leaving it just to be like, hey, this looks weird, but I didn't end up doing that. Ugh. I kind of want to experiment with having the camera a little more head-on like it is right now. I think it might give me a little bit better angles on the separate Guitar Freaks and Drummania whatchamacall views, but I haven't found the best position for that yet. As you can see kind of right now, like my main monitor is a little bit visible, and so is the microphone here, and I don't know. I don't love it. I also don't love that the frame of Drummania is cutting half the marquee, but you know, what are you gonna do? I know what I'm gonna cry about it is what I'm gonna do, but cry about it on stream anyway. Let me see. Yeah, that makes a huge difference, doesn't it? The extra lights. Well, it's interesting too because like the room lighting down here is also that like warm yellow lighting like I was talking about that's upstairs, and but then the video lights are bright enough that they kind of overpower it. All right, that's decent. And then this one, yeah, that's a little, I'm trying to get rid of that like purplish hot spot in the top of the frame there. But I don't know that I can. There we go, that's better. Let's cry it out. Is that like, let's walk it out? Walk it off? Cry it off? Anyway, so I guess one comment that I do have from Round 1 today, they did have a Guitadora set, so Guitar Freaks and Drummania, and they were in the middle. I don't know what the exact like terminology is, but I know that so like these are from Guitar Freaks Drummania XG. I think they're called the DX cabinets, like deluxe. And then there's the SD cabinets. I believe that's what they're called, which are which, as I've explained before, are very much like these, except minus the side speakers on Guitar Freaks, and minus the frame on Drummania. But and I had mentioned before that because in the XG setup, all of the speakers are in these side speakers. The main cabinet actually has no speakers at all, because like these down here at the bottom they're fake. They're just lights. Like there's no actual speakers in this section here. I did take a look at Guitar Freaks, at that other the other style Guitar Freaks, and I was correct partially. They do put speakers on the sides, on either side of the marquee, like they are on Drummania. However, the speakers are smaller. They don't hang down. Well, if you can see on Drummania, like the top of the speaker is at the top edge of the marquee box, but the bottom of the speaker hangs down quite a bit below the marquee. In the case of those SD cabinets, the speaker is only the height of the marquee. It doesn't hang down below it, so it's a little bit smaller speaker on both Guitar Freaks and Drummania. So that I didn't realize until I took a closer look at it today. And then they do add speakers down in the bottom part of the cabinet, and they appear to be essentially just like the one that is in Drummania. So, except there are two of them, one on either side. So those are a little different. Zero deal. Which rhythm games did I play at round one? So what did I play? I played 2DX on a Lightning cabinet, so Bass Rever. I played Drummania High Voltage, the new one, new to me anyway. Well, I guess it is actually new, right? I played that. I played Waka, and I played a game of DDR Ace2O Plus. I played a game of Pump It Up, Double X, XX, 20, Dos Equis, whatever you want to call it. I played, I think I played the most of Dance Rush, because that was the one that I don't know. It is the most different from anything that I have personally. So I spent the most time with it. Although, I've got to tell you, how long has it been now since I wrapped up streaming DDR? It's been like a week and a half, maybe? And I honestly have not played any DDR since then. I've been playing Ghidorah exclusively, not only on stream, but just to be playing anything. Arcade game-wise. I guess I've played some Xbox and stuff, but that's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, in a week and a half since I've played DDR, or maybe it's been 2 weeks now, but about that amount of time. Oh my gosh, my stamina level is just already. Yeah, Dance Rush was hard, DDR was hard, Pump It Up was hard. They were all just my body was just ugh, why? What are you doing? What are you doing with yourself? Oh, that reminds me, there is one thing, that's one other thing I wanted to talk about, but I need a visual aid. And by visual aid, I just mean a thing. So, I will be right back in not even a minute. Just long enough for me to go upstairs and grab something. So anyway, I'm back. Um, just a little bit of backstory. Like I'm fully vaccinated now. I've had both shots of the Pfizer, and it's been a lot more than 2 weeks actually since my second one. I think it's been 3, probably going on 4 weeks since then. So, like, I'm, approved to go and do some stuff. So that's why we went out and went up to Chicago and did some stuff because it's like, hey, let's get out of the house and do something. But of course, all the like COVID restrictions and everything are still in place in Chicago, and so like masks are required everywhere, which is fine. But we stopped in at H Mart, the Korean grocery store, in Chicago. I think there's actually a couple, but we stopped in at one of them and picked up these KF94 masks. So these are kind of the Korean equivalent of the N95. You've probably seen the Chinese equivalent, the KN95, but these are the KF94. And it's the first time I've had one of these. I've seen some people wearing these, but I haven't had one myself. And we picked up, I picked one up, and Belinda picked up two, one for each of us. And we tried them out today. And these things are fantastic. I just thought I'd say that. I really like, so they've got kind of they've got these kind of like flaps. I mean, there's like a centerpiece, but it's not pleated. And then they've got these flaps that like open up on the top and the bottom, and they've got the little bendy bar in the nose piece. But what I am really like super hype about is once you get it on there and get it formed to your nose, and I can put glasses on, and it kind of sits nice in there, and it kind of sits nice on top of there and doesn't really fog up my glasses. Everything fits pretty comfortably, and then like the part that goes over my face is not actually touching my face, because I did try and play. I did try to play DDR in a cloth mask like a while back, and like I don't have any problem with breathability, and including with this one, like I was able to play pretty hard, breathe pretty hard, and everything was just fine. But the thing about the cloth masks is that they're real loose, or not. The fabric is not real stiff, I guess I should say. So when I start breathing really hard, the cloth ends up like getting sucked up into my nose or getting sucked into my mouth, which at that point, then yes, I do have some trouble breathing because it's like literally plugging my nose or plugging my mouth, and it's just like So that's no good. But this one, since it sits like in front of my face but doesn't actually like touch it at all, and it's got some stiffness to it, it like I had no problem at all. So I was super pleased with these. I think we're gonna get some more of these. I'm hashtag not spawn. I'm not like trying to push these on anybody, but as far as like a mask that was comfortable to wear and seemed to work well even when like exerting myself fairly rigorously as you do to play like dance games, yeah, A+. Super happy about these. K-pop girl, you bought KF94s online? Yeah, we looked them up right after we got them at H Mart, and it was like, oh yeah, you can get these. So I think we're probably gonna order some. Hello, Leonardo and Kev. You're showing me something on Discord. Okay, I'm looking at the Discord. What am I looking at? Oh, you want a new emoji? Okay. Yeah, I kind of saw that. I'm super behind on the Discord since I spent a good part of the day like doing some shopping and doing some eating and doing a bunch of driving, and of course getting anywhere in Chicago takes forever. And then getting home from Chicago takes quite a while as well. So I just have not really caught up on the Discord yet, but I'll take a look once once I get like honestly it'll probably be tomorrow because I'm probably gonna do this stream right now and hang out for a little bit, chit chat, maybe answer some questions, and then maybe play a little bit if I get things kind of set in a good way, and then I'm probably just gonna go to bed. So, but I saw it. I saw your message. I saw your request. I will take a look at it soon. So, So hold on. Let's see. Leonardo, you were watching the MC Grooves video and found out that Konami sued Mad Catz, and Mad Catz filed for bankruptcy. I do know of that. I don't know if those two things are related. But I can't say I feel real bad. I mean, I know Mad Catz had a lot of other things, but man, MC Grooves was just hot garbage. And you have the GameCube dance pad from Mario Mix. I was wondering if I knew if it was compatible with MC Grooves. I don't know for sure, but I would guess the answer is yes. The real question is, and I just don't remember. I have the Mario Mix dance pad also, but I don't. I haven't looked at it very carefully recently, so I don't remember. The only question I would have is, are the two corners, the bottom two corners, on either side of the down arrow, are they real buttons? Because I think that's the only real difference between MC Grooves and DDR, is how MC Grooves has 8 active areas all around the center, all the panels around the center, whereas DDR, of course, only has 4 main arrows, but then they put the 2, A or B or X or O or whatever buttons up in the top corners. So if it has those, if it has the bottom buttons, then it should work. If not, it might be a little bit funky. There would be some modes that you wouldn't be able to play. But there is a standard 4-arrow mode of MC Grooves, so it would probably be fine. And obviously, if you watched my stream, I was playing it on the DDR cabinet, which of course I only have 4 arrows. I don't even have the top 2 corners. So I was cheesing it all over the place to kind of make it work. But yeah. So that would be that would be my answer to that question. And then FX Gamer, do I live in Illinois? I do not live in Illinois. I live in Indiana. So it's about a 3 or 4 hour drive up to Chicago from where I'm at. And I mean, it's probably about a 3 hour drive to Chicago, and then once you're in Chicago, with traffic, everywhere is an hour, or it feels like it. Anyway. And Kev, you want me to stream DDR Kids? Okay. I'll consider it. I haven't, I honestly barely know anything about DDR Kids. I mean, I think I've seen pictures of the cabinet, and I think I maybe saw no, I think that's it. I think I've seen pictures of the cabinet, and that's about it. So I don't know anything about it, but that is certainly on. That certainly seems to be kind of like on brand for the channel. You know, playing just weird, rare, goofy games. Um, yeah, I'll look into it. It's going to be a little while before I get there, though, because I'm definitely not going to. I'm definitely not going to get back to DDR real soon. Because I know I want to keep playing some more Ghidorah for probably at least, another week. And from there, I know people have been asking for U-Beat and Sound Voltex and Pump It Up. So I'm more likely to play one or all of those games before I get back to DDR again. So it'd probably be at least a month would be my guess. But yeah, it's certainly not a bad idea. I'll look into it. And bother me on the Discord, because I will also probably forget. Yeah, I am definitely not going to get an arcade cabinet of that. I don't think I have the space for it. If I do have the space for another game, it certainly would not be that one. Because there are many other games I would be more interested in having and playing than DDR Kids. Also, I just don't. I have a feeling, like you said, it's rare. I have a feeling trying to track one down is more effort than I'm really willing to put forth for a game that I have probably only a passing interest in. Our game, you said Mario Mix Pad only has the top left and right A and B buttons. That sounds right. Although I know some pads, the bottom corner ones actually worked, even though they weren't marked as anything. And I just wasn't sure if the Mario Mix pads were like that. But I don't know. You may be very correct. And again, even if those are not active, even if those don't work, you could still play floor panel mode of MC Grooves without much trouble. I'm pretty sure the mapping is the same. I'm about 90% sure the mapping is the same. I'm just to recap, like I did all of that in. I did all of the Wii and GameCube games in the Dolphin emulator, so I didn't use real hardware for those. But my recollection is that when I did MC Grooves, I just modified my regular DDR, my regular GameCube and Wii DDR input mappings so that I could kind of fudge those corners, but I don't think I changed the main like arrow position buttons or anything like that. So I think those all remain the same. But like I said, probably 90% sure on that. I'll leave a margin for error because that was a little while ago and I don't remember for sure. But Dance North, KF94. Yeah, I'm really hype about them. Like, I knew they existed, I just hadn't really looked into them. And since we happened to be at the Korean market and they just like had them on a peg right by the registers, it was like, ooh, look, let's try these, and just grabbed a couple. And they were like a couple bucks a piece. I think they were like $1.99 each. so not too expensive. I imagine if you buy them in, a multi-pack, that they would be even cheaper. But even like $2, well, I know the N95s are way more expensive than that, and I think even the KN95s are close to that or a little bit more. And the big problem with the KN95s, at least in my experience so far, is that it's really hard to get a KN95 and be confident that it's actually real. Because there seem to be a bajillion counterfeits out there that, they're just stamping KN95 and shipping them out the door super cheap. And maybe they're good, maybe they're not. And it's hard to tell the difference, and there's no terrific way to test it, like for a normal person. Like if I rip open the package and just look at it, I mean, obviously if it's full of holes or something like that, I'll notice that, but I don't actually have any real clue, with the filter material, if it is actually up to the spec that it claims to be, and I don't have a good way to test it, other than, I suppose, getting COVID, but which kind of defeats the whole purpose. But yeah, so I don't know if the counterfeiting is as rampant with the KF94s. I would guess that it probably is not, only in that it doesn't seem like there are a billion KF94s the way there are KN95s. So they don't. I don't think the copycats and the counterfeiters have hit that up quite yet. Nahuen, the KF94 is the type of mask that I was talking about earlier. These guys with the little, they have the little flaps on the top and the bottom, and it's kind of a flat front instead of a pleated front. But I guess maybe you missed that at the very beginning of the video, but I was just saying I tried one of these for my first time today and was able to play dance games in it, and it worked great. So oh yeah, and I was also wearing it in the video that I posted earlier today, which that brings me to another thing that I can comment on. Today I learned that apparently you need 1,000 subscribers to be able to go live from the YouTube mobile app. Did I already say that in this video? I don't know. But yeah, I was like, hey, maybe I can, do a live stream from Round 1. And I was like looking at my phone, like poke, poke, poke. And it's like, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, well, thanks. That's fun. I don't know what I don't know why they care, honestly. Like, I wonder if there's something about streaming from mobile that's more intensive on their servers, or what, that they want to limit it to fewer people, or maybe their concern is not that mobile in and of itself is more intensive, but it would obviously open it up to a lot more people. And so maybe they're worried that if everybody could stream from mobile, that they would have twice as many live streamers, or 10 times as many live streamers as they do now, and that might cripple the system. So it's not just the individual, but just, the aggregate of that many people if they allowed it. So I don't know what the rationale for it is, but I learned that today. That you can't do it. Or I can't do it. I am still a little under 400 from that goal. But thanks to all of you who have subscribed. I'm over 600, and which is, I don't know what expectation I had for this when I started about a year ago, but I'm sure it has exceeded that expectation many times over at this point. Also, the fact that I can go live, basically unannounced, and in a few minutes, and all I'm promising right now is to just like talk at you about something I did today, and there's more than a dozen of you here for it. I mean, that's cool. So, thanks, because it makes it fun. Let's see. Ooh, I think I've missed a few comments here. Have I ever played any of the Just Dance games? I played. The answer is yes, but barely. I think I played like a couple, like one or two songs of the demo of the current one actually on Xbox. So whatever that is, like 2020 or 2021. Because I saw that it still works with the Kinect, which I thought was kind of cool. My impression of it was fine. But I still think that like Dance Central is kind of the cream of the crop as far as like Kinect dance games go. It, for me, was the easiest to follow and seemed to work the best. I've also played like Dance Evolution or Dance Masters as it's known in the U.S. The Konami Kinect dancing game, and also arcade. It's fine. I find it more difficult to like learn routines in that setup. But otherwise it works okay. I just I don't know. Like I said, I found it more difficult to learn anything that way, to where I could actually like perform any of the routines with any decent proficiency. Whereas I felt like Dance Central, I was a little bit better able to do so. You say you're a fan of 70s disco. Which DDR would I recommend? I would say older. older DDR is probably going to get you closer to that than... And when I say older, I mean like 2001 or earlier. Older. Like second mix, maybe third mix, Euro mix even. I think there's some disco tracks in there. But yeah, earlier DDR up through like fifth mix, I would say, is a lot more like a lot more poppy kind of poppy, dancey, like poppy dance club type music, and some like legit disco. Once you get past that, it starts going a lot more J-pop, and a lot more like challenge stuff, like extremely difficult songs, which are much more challenging than musical, if that makes sense. So, but oh, and Dance Dance North's suggestion of Fourth Mix Plus, that is a pretty good suggestion in that Fourth Mix Plus has almost every song that had appeared in the game up to that point. So there's a good, it is a very good selection of early DDR music. So Dance Dance North. Yeah, I figured there's probably ways around it, to make the stream look as though it's coming from desktop rather than mobile, but I'm not worried about it. I think you're probably right about potential abuse. As far as using lots of data, I wouldn't think that they would. I wouldn't think that Google/YouTube would care about that, because that's more on the streamer. Like, it uses lots of mobile data, which the streamer ostensibly is paying for, not YouTube. And I wouldn't think that a mobile stream would use any more data on the server end than a desktop stream. Like, you set your bitrate to whatever it is, and that's what it is. Like, who cares whether it's coming from mobile or whether it's coming from desktop. And to be honest, I would think in many cases the bitrate you would be able to push on a mobile connection would probably be lower than on a desktop connection. So so I would think it would probably be lighter on their end than desktop. But like I was saying before, I think it's probably not an individual thing so much as it is if they open it to mobile streamers, that is a huge number of people that could potentially do it, and it just might crush them by volume. Noise ordinance. How many cabs do I own? You know, whenever somebody asks me that, I always end up counting because I don't remember. I think the answer is 16. But let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I guess the answer is 20. So, 20 is the answer. I think it was 16 at some point. Who knows? Maybe one had a baby. A few babies. I know that sounds stupid that I don't even know, but I don't know. I'm bad at thinking about that kind of stuff. But let's see. You translated, Kev, you translated the names of the characters in DDR Kids. I think I saw you I think you had this conversation on the Discord a few days ago. Like, I don't remember the details, but I seem to recall it occurring. Do I own a white DDR? I do not. I do not. And honestly, so I'll tell you, this getting back to round one, my round one experience today. They had a white cab and also a gold cab, both playing playing Ace 2 Plus. Well, I only played the gold cab, and it was playing Ace 2 Plus. I assumed the white one was too. I kind of looked at it, but I didn't really like look at it too hard. Like I said, I was only there for a couple of hours, so I didn't have a lot of time to play. I did not have time to play everything, and I also chose to play a few games more than once, so that limited my my plays of things. DDR was not especially high on my list. I played it once just to say, okay, now I have actually played Ace 2 Plus, because prior to that I'd only played 20 Ace 2O, and I mean, it's more songs, but feels basically the same. Like Ace 2O, Ace 2O Plus, they all seem the same to me. Obviously, I mean they're all using the same. They're all using the same skin. They don't really do it. They don't do anything that I've seen different from each other. They just add more songs, which is fine. Like that's great. I'm not like I'm not trying to shit on it or anything. It's just it is definitely an incremental upgrade as opposed to like a whole new game. Although, I mean, quite frankly, pretty much all the Bimani games at this point, even when they do, change from one number to the next, they don't tend to add a whole lot to them anyway. But they just kind of like reskin it and add some more music, give it a new name and a new title sequence, and there you go. Boom, out the door, right? But we do get new features and stuff periodically as time goes on. So, but anyway, one of the things I was gonna say about the white cab and also the gold cab is, and actually, it occurs to me I kind of made some comments about this on my Facebook because I posted on my Facebook today about having gone to round one, and I'm pretty about both the white cab and the gold cab, and just like aesthetically, which to me is huge. If you've been watching, I don't think you have Noise Ordinance, but or this is the first time I remember you commenting anyway. So I'll assume you're new, or maybe you just never, long time listener, first time caller. I don't know, but anyway, if you've been watching my streams, for a little while, you'll know that like aesthetics are a big deal to me. It is the reason why. I mean, number one, if I'm buying a cab, it's because I want to play the game. But very close number two is I want it to look cool. And because pretty much all of the games, like my criteria for like, am I going to buy a cabinet or am I just going to play it, like a home version or just not care or whatever, is, to me, the cabinet should add to the experience. Like, it should be part of the experience of playing the game. And that has kind of a wide definition for me. In the case of something like DDR, obviously it's the controller. You really can't play the game without that stage. And of course, you can get soft pads, and there's a number of hard pads that are available now, and some of them are very good. But none of them are quite the same. So if you want that arcade, you know, that arcade-like experience of that stage, that that's it. Like, you get the arcade cabinet. But on top of that, you know, it's got the lights and the sound and everything that kind of just add a little bit of extra to the experience, and that's really important to me. Like, I like it to feel like I like it to feel like a big deal, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. So, you know, I mean, my whole interest in this cabinet was, you know, these giant speaker stacks that, you know, have frickin' RGB LED lighting on them, and, you know, puts on a cool light show. You know, is it like an integral part of the game? No, it's not. Like, you don't need that. But damn it, like, it makes it more fun. Like, it kind of draws you into the game, you know, when it makes some kind of flashy pattern because you did something in the game, or just to, like, look at it. And as I've talked about before, like, Guitar Freaks wasn't even a game that I liked all that much in the past. Most of that is because of the old, like, the original style controller, which they did fix. Like, these controllers are fine. But I still, like, didn't really care about Guitar Freaks that much. And, but I had an opportunity to get this cabinet set, and, like, pretty much the number one thing was, damn, that looks freaking cool. And now that I've had it and I've gotten a chance to, you know, play around on it, like, I like Guitar Freaks a lot more now. So yeah, aesthetics and experience are really important to me. And I realize I just kind of, like, went on this huge tangent, but what I was going to say about that in relation to DDR is the white cabinet. I think the white cabinet is pretty boring, honestly. It's fine. I mean, it looks all right. I don't think it's anything special, though. It's just there. And don't get me wrong, like, it plays fine. I think it plays very well, and it's still DDR, so, like, it's a fun game. But the cabinet itself, nothing special. You know, the panels don't light up. There's not really that much cabinet lighting. The cabinet is it's kind of dull. Like, it's not that exciting to look at, either in still or in motion. And yeah, so there's that. And the gold cabinet, I feel like, when I first saw pictures of the gold cabinet before it came out, and they first started putting pictures online, I was like, ooh, like, it definitely did not grab me at first. In fact, I kind of disliked it at first. I was just like, ooh, that looks pretty gaudy. And I just didn't really care for it. Once I got to see one in person, I thought it was a little bit better. I'm not a huge fan of gold, and I just think, like, the gold on gold on gold on gold of the gold cabinet is just kind of, it's almost too much. They went too far the other way, I think. But it's got some nice, you know, lighting effects and stuff on the main cabinet. I don't like the stage really at all. The panels light up again, that's at least nice, but then, like, those lit corners, I don't know what that's about. It just seems unfinished to me. Like, I don't mind the fact that they tried to add more lights to the stage, but the way in which they did it, I thought, was just kind of disappointing. Especially when, you know, you take a look at, like, Dance Rush and that stage, and it's just like, whoa, you know, that thing's wild. Like, that is very eye-catching and really cool. So, and of course, you know, the gold cabinet is just kind of like a restyled Dance Rush cabinet anyway, so I just feel like they didn't make it better, they made it worse. Although I actually do like the DDR marquee on the gold cabinet. Um, the classic DDR logo in gold on top of the machine. I think does look pretty nice. But other than that, I'm kind of like meh, whatever about the gold cabinet. So no, I don't own. That was a really long answer to your question. I realize the answer is no. I don't own a white cabinet, and it's partially because I just don't. I'm not interested in one. Honestly, I mean, I love the classic original, first gen design. Obviously, that's the one that I have. But if I had to pick a favorite DDR cabinet, it's definitely the black DDR X cabinets. The Japanese ones, though, not the American ones. The American ones are pretty trash. But the Japanese ones with the three like light towers on each side, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So there you go. Leonardo, would I consider Walk It Out a DDR game? I would say no. I don't. I mean, it's not, and it isn't. I mean, it's made by Konami and it has music in it. I mean, that's pretty much where the similarity ends, but because it's not even a 4-panel game. It's not even necessarily a panel game, because you are able to control it with a DDR pad, but of course you're only using two panels. Although I guess it didn't seem to care which 2 panels. You could use any of the 4, but I guess you could also play it by throwing the nunchuck in your pocket and playing it kind of like Just Dance. It worked with the balance board, so yeah, no. I mean, it's not a DDR game. It's barely a rhythm game, because you're just walking, and you're walking in tempo to the song. That's about as much as far as it goes. So. Zero deal, because it is just a recolor with more songs. I assume you're talking about Ace 2 Plus. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, as far as the game itself, I only played. Did I play one game? I think I only played one game, so I only ended up playing 3 songs, and they were fine, but. I don't know. I'm sure there's some good ones in there. I'm sure there's some stinkers in there. So it is what it is, I guess. You wish Round 1 had Neon FM. That's noise ordinance. I've had the opportunity to play Neon FM, and it was fine. But man, the timing is really weird on it. I mean, I will not claim to be like awesome. Like I don't AAA songs. I'm not like awesome timing master or anything like that. But Neon FM, I felt like I just good attacked everything all the time, and I don't know. I don't know what that's about. But I mean, the game seemed fine, but like I said, the timing was just weird to me. How was the new Ghidorah? That's Kenan asking. So I only played Drum Mania. I didn't end up playing Guitar Freaks. I just kind of ran out of time. And since I was there during server maintenance, I wasn't able to log in with eMuse. And Ghidorah really locks down without the server. There are very few songs available. I think in the new folder in the high voltage folder, which is the new version. I think there were 5 songs available, so I played 3 of them. It was great. Like, I mean, it's more Ghidorah, right? Uh, one nice thing, which actually I think they added with Next Stage, the previous version, is you can actually select English now, so all the menus are in English, so that's helpful. But I mean, the game is fundamentally the same. It was interesting because I found that I was having trouble timing on Drummania there, but I have a feeling that might be a difference between their monitors and my monitors. I got these cabinets with dead monitors, so I had to source and replace the monitors myself, and I'm sure that they are not. Well, I know they're not the same as the stock monitors, but spec-wise, I think they are slightly different, and I think I'm just used to these, and so I found I was a little bit off on at the arcade today. So, but, or maybe they had their machine set wrong. I don't know, because I know that there are like monitor options in here where you can tell it. You can select like a monitor type, and I think it does adjust the timing based on what you tell it. But it's probably not that, though. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's probably just my monitors are slightly different, and I'm just used to them and not used to theirs. Same thing happens with Ghidorah since Maddox, X-Chain, and High Voltage. Same UI, different color patterns. Yeah, again, like I was saying, pretty much all the Bimani games are just, reskin it, add some songs, and it's basically the same game. But what I'm saying with Ace 2.0, Ace 2.0 Plus is there's not even like a cosmetic difference between them. They really are just kind of like, here's some more songs, because like the menus all look exactly the same. Everything looks the same. Even the color palettes are all the same. So I guess unless you're in the gold cabinet, and then it's gold, but whatever. Did I get a chance to play Beast River on a lightning cab? I did, and so that was my first time actually seeing a lightning cab in person. That's another interesting thing. So I have 2 comments about the lightning cab. When kind of the same thing happened that did with the DDR Gold cabinet when they first started releasing pictures of it, I just was like, huh. I didn't really know what to make of it. I don't think I disliked it quite as much as I did the gold cabinet from just the initial pictures that I saw, but I was just kind of like, huh. I think it's just so it's such a departure from like what 2DX is in my head that I just was kind of like puzzled by it more than anything. But then once I started seeing people, post less producty photo pictures of it online, where they just like went to the arcade and snapped a pic with their phone, I was like, okay, I think I get it. And now that I've seen it in person, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like aesthetically, I think it's great. I like a lot of the I think the new lighting is pretty cool, and it looks nice. I think the biggest thing for me was just kind of those sides that like come up at an angle and kind of overhangs you when you're when you're playing. I thought that looked strange in pictures, but like in practice, I think it works fine. In real life, I liked it. And that's point one. Point number two, which was a little bit of a surprise to me, I only played one game, and amusingly, it was the only game I played today where I was actually able to log in on EMUs, which I guess I've been told is because it's running as in American region, and so they have a different maintenance time. But oddly enough, after I finished my one game, then once it got back to the title screen, it was like, oh, EMUs is on maintenance. So I don't know what was going on there, but I did get to log in the one time at least, and I played one game, and I actually played. And if you know anything about me and my 2DX skill or lack thereof, like I'm generally good up to a 6, and then I can do 7s usually, and then maybe a couple of 8s, and then after that it's just like nah. But I played. I don't remember what the first song was. I think it was actually only a 6, and it was fine. But then I played a 7 and an 8, and both of them were like totally doable. Like I wasn't struggling to pass it, and I was surprised, and I definitely noticed that like the buttons had a much lighter touch to them. It didn't take nearly as much force to push them as I'm used to, and the turntable, I saw that you could like adjust the tension in it. I did not, so I just used whatever the default was, but it felt very easy to scratch, and I wasn't expecting the actual like experience of playing on the controls to be as different as it was. And I was gonna say that like I was saying earlier, I never really liked Guitar Freaks in its classic form, because I thought the guitar was uncomfortable, and made it difficult and uncomfortable to play on. So I just never really got into the game. But then once I got to the XG and Guitadora later controllers, it's much easier to play on, and I enjoy the game a lot more. The 2DX Lightning Cab isn't that much of a difference, like between classic Guitar Freaks and modern Guitar Freaks, if you will, or Guitadora Guitar Freaks. But it's different enough that it does seem more comfortable to play, and I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I only played one game, so I don't have a very large sample size here, but I'm not sure how much the difference in the controller actually led to me performing better. But I quite enjoyed it. Like, it was... I had a lot of fun with the game, and yeah, it's a marked improvement, and I like it. Lightning Cab, excellent. So, I think the Lightning Cab does make the experience of playing 2DX better in a way that the white cab and gold cabs, at least for me, do not for DDR. And again, let me just be clear. Like, I'm not trying to shit on the white cab and the gold cab. Like, I don't hate them, and I think both of them play just fine. Like, I don't have any problems playing on them. I just think overall, and it's just my opinion, right? This is not anything other than that. My opinion, they just don't do anything for me. They don't make the game better. Okay, let me get back. You'd be worried to walk into the overhead thingies. You know, I'm trying to remember how much it overhung above. On the sides, it's really not a problem because they don't come out any farther than like the stage unit. So once you've stepped up onto the stage part, you know, just don't go directly sideways and you'll be fine. Step off the back and everything is fine. For some reason, timing is weird when the lighting is on. Are you talking about the lightning cabinet? I certainly didn't turn the lighting off, so I didn't notice that the timing was weird. Yeah, Tempo, about the EMU's maintenance window. Like, I know it, and they have it posted on all the machines at Round 1. So, like, I'm aware of when it happens. It just seems that for whatever reason, I always end up there at that time. Yeah, I don't. I will defer to you all on the Windows 10 question. This Gitador is the newest machine that I have, and it's Windows 7. Windows Embedded 7, I think they call it, because Microsoft always loves to change the order and or adjectives that they use to describe their different editions. But yeah, this is the newest one that I have, and it's still 7. So I haven't looked at anything any newer. But yeah, I would imagine that the very newest games are likely Windows 10. Simply because, you know, at some point, Microsoft won't sell you old stuff. But, yeah. Hola. Orsonio. Osornio? Hopefully I'm getting that kind of close. And yeah, as far as the timing is concerned, Tempo, like when I show up, I don't know, since I'm coming in from out of town, there's so many variables that it just seems like I end up there at that time. But it's surreal seeing me in a location that you visit frequently. Yeah, I haven't seen that comment yet, but I haven't really like looked through everything on the Discord since I've been back yet, and I just didn't really have a whole lot of time to look at it during the day today. But I'll catch up to it at some point. But yeah, it's funny. Do I have H2O Plus on my machine. No, I do not. But yeah, hopefully, maybe sometime we'll get to meet up there. Anyway, let me while I'm looking here. I kind of want to see if I can play around with the positioning of this main camera and find a place that looks good. That might work. That's a little bit better. The support beam for the overhead frame is not like cutting right through the monitor and the marquee, at least. I still can't see the lights on Drum Mania, which is a little bit of a bummer, but and I gotta figure out where to put this light so that it's not like directly on the marquee the way it is. Because not right now we've got, let me see, we've got Goddora. Or, well, you can't really see it because the diffuser's getting in the way, but that Otadora. Stupid. I'm easily amused. Don't mind me. Maybe I can bounce it. Maybe I just need to move this light into another location entirely. Do. You know, I'm noticing also that my the chat, the burned in chat on the video itself is disappearing after some time, which I was doing in DDR because it was kind of in the way of things. But for this one, I don't really need that to happen, so I'm gonna turn that off, which I thought I had before, but apparently that setting, no, it is set to show it all the ways, so I don't know. Well, hopefully it will remember now that it's supposed to do that. Refresh. Okay, hopefully it'll remember that setting or figure that setting out again. Now I've got light in the thing. Alright. Everything is hard. It's always hard. Also, this setup is kind of an absolute mess behind the scenes where you can't see. Just tripping over wires and shit right now. I can probably drop this down, but I'm worried that doing that is going to put it right in my field of view when I'm playing, which will not be exceptionally good. But I'll take a look at it here in a second. Oh, swell. Is the chat now not showing up at all? Oh no, there it is. Screen has a 24 in the corner. Where? You thought about coming over to meet me, but you already had plans. You didn't want to look like a creep. I mean, it's a public place, so like it would be fine. But yeah, maybe next time. A giant softbox glare is always best while playing. Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a bad time. Also, hey Llama Juice, how are you? Do I know some Dave & Buster's locations use e-amusement Japanese servers? The the answer is no, because my my local Dave & Buster's sucks and doesn't have DDR anyway. So I don't really have any sense of what Dave & Buster's is doing in that regard, because yeah. Bottom left, a 24. I don't see what you're looking at either. Yeah, the Dave & Buster's nearest me has a pretty lousy game selection. Almost nothing I really care to play, and it seems like every time I go over there, which is honestly once every 2 or 3 years at this point, because I've been so disappointed with them lately, that when I decide, oh, I guess this game looks kind of interesting, maybe I'll try it. Oh, look, it's broken. So yeah, I just don't. Oh, this screen. I see what you're saying. You're talking about this 24. Oh, well, I guess you can't see it anymore, but this 24 here. Yeah. Yeah. I never peeled the sticker off of this monitor. That's being generous, calling it a monitor. I never peeled the sticker off of this TV. So yeah, that's just the size. It's a 24-inch screen. Woo. And yeah, Llama Juice. I'm not really having technical difficulties right now. This was really kind of intended mostly as just a talkie stream, and while I'm at it, I'm just resetting everything for Ghidorah for the next time that I stream, which might. Well, I mean, maybe I'll play some tonight. I don't know. But I probably will tomorrow, which is already today at this point, but you know what I mean. Because Belinda and I did a karaoke stream earlier this week, and I ripped a bunch of... I pulled a bunch of equipment out from this for that, and I haven't reset it yet, so I'm just taking this opportunity to do it, and I'm kind of experimenting with a different camera placement to see if I can find something that works a little bit better. More than anything, what my goal here is with Drum Mania, anyway. I know in the... hold on, let me get this out of here. So when I play solo, I have two separate layouts for Guitar Freaks and Drum Mania, and in the old setup, this view for Drum Mania, the cabinet on the main camera was kind of like small and, tucked away in the back. It's still not awesome in this setup now, but it's better. Although I don't know how useful this is, because I know the closer I get to dead on, it's not too bad. The more that my own body is going to be blocking most of the action. But I'm at enough of an angle that it's not terrible, I don't think. So, but I am not especially excited about the monitor placement. I don't love showing it on streams. I kind of like to take the Disney approach to streaming, not like specifically Disney streaming, but Disney's approach to like quote unquote like hide the magic. So I don't really like, for the stream I want you to be able to see the games and me playing them, but I don't want you to like be distracted by the setup of what it takes to actually stream. So I don't want you to see cameras or lights or wires or anything that's not aesthetic. And right now that's happening pretty bad because we've got obviously this giant thing right in the middle of the frame. That's not great. The microphone is right there, which that's a little less awful, but still not ideal. And you're starting to see this is actually right over here are a couple of Pac-Man cocktail cabinets, the little sit-down two-player jobbies, and they are currently just like holding up a bunch of stuff, like a bottle of Windex and my work light. Boo. These are handy, by the way. And apparently can also be an emergency light. Ooh. But oh yeah, flashing. But anyway, I have kind of like accumulated some stuff over here, and I haven't really worried about it because it's been out of frame. So I was just like, whatever. But if I do actually move the camera over here, I'll have to get rid of this because it makes me makes me sad. But hey, let me real quick. I would like to. I'd like to go to the bathroom real quick and also get myself another drink. So, give me a couple of minutes here, and I'll be back in just a few. Oh, you know what? I don't. Do I have a? I don't have a. I don't have a BRB, do I? All right, I am back. You like cocktail cabinets? Yeah, I mean, they are. They they are definitely like a product of their time, I think. And the ones that I have are like legit, like 1980 Pac-Man cocktails. So I guess I can kind of. Let's see here. Now, again, they're covered in a bunch of crap right now, but I can kind of point the camera at them. You can see them there. I happened to pick these up as a pair, so I bought them both at the same time, and they were neither one was working. But I got them home, and I was able to piece together enough to make one work. So the one on the left, this one here, um, does play like Pac-Man on its, all original hardware and everything, um, and it's fine. The one on the right, I didn't have, it didn't have a monitor. It didn't have a whole lot of things were missing from it by the end. Especially, like I said, I was able to make one whole cabinet from two partial cabinets, basically. And so I ended up turning the one on the right into a 60-in-1. Basically a main cabinet, but using a off-the-shelf board that you can just buy on Amazon that plays like 60 games. So that's those. I would turn them on, but they're actually not even plugged in right now because I've got things for the stream plugged into those outlets. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this camera position. It's okay. I'll definitely want to play with it a little bit more before my next for real stream. But oh, I missed out on some chat from earlier, looks like. The my Dave & Buster's that I was talking about that kind of sucks. They used to have pump, but they haven't in probably 10 years. They had an FX cabinet, and it was most recently running Pro 2 before it was just removed altogether. Kenan, did I see the Dance Rush cabinet on Facebook? I think you tagged me in it, and the answer is yes. Yes, I did see it. No, I'm not buying it. If that was your next question. Oh, Houston, San Diego, North Charleston. Round 1's got canceled. There was supposed to be a round 1 in Indiana, up north in Fort Wayne. It also got canceled. So, it would have been closer to me than Chicago, but honestly, I'd rather just go to Chicago because there's a lot of things that I like to do in Chicago. And if I was going to Fort Wayne, it would only be for round 1 because there's not really anything else there that I care all that much about. So, yeah, if I was going to make a trip, I would probably just go to Chicago anyway. Oh, you like this top... Llama Juice, you like this top-down view for Drum Mania? I assume that's what you're talking about. I think it's pretty fun. I like that I have been able to get like ceiling camera mounts. I think it's allowed me to get some more interesting angles on the gameplay of these games that other streamers have not been doing for the most part. a little more, a little bit more of me going for uniqueness rather than skill, because I am not especially terrific at any of these games. Hide the tech in the tunnels. Yeah, you're with me on the whole Disney thing, aren't you? There's an arcade in Seattle that has 4 DDR machines, 2 Pump It Up machines, and a few other music games. Nice. That reminds me of like the golden age. Um, Gosh, I remember. I I actually chartered a bus one time. Um, so um, back in the day, I mean, technically I still do, but like it's pretty quiet. But back in the early 2000s, I ran our like the local DDR online community, Indie DDR, um, around here, around where I'm at, and gosh, what year was that? I would say it was probably 2001, um, maybe 2002, but I'm pretty sure it was early 2001 or 2002. I actually like organized a bus trip to take us all up to Blaster's Family Fun Center in Brighton, Michigan, so just outside of Detroit, which is actually where my DDR machine is from. Um, and I chartered a bus and took like, I forget how many, it was like 35 of us or something like that. We all went up there and spent the day at Blasters, and they had a whole wall of DDR cabinets, like I would say six or seven of them, just boom, lined up right down one wall, and then across from them was like a variety of different games: Beat Mania, Drum Mania, Guitar Freaks. They had a frickin' Mambo a Go Go. That tells you how long ago this was, right? Pump It Up wasn't really a thing. Um, I don't think I'd even heard of Pump It Up yet at that point. I mean, I know Pump It Up was a thing. It just wasn't a thing around here yet. And gosh, what else? I mean, just tons. They had like a frickin' Punch Mania and I don't even remember. Oh, Para Paradise, and like just tons of music games, and tons of other games too. But yeah, we all went up there and spent the day and just hung out. Um, and that's like a 5 hour bus ride too. So that was crazy. Um, that was real interesting. Probably maybe one of the most elaborate things I've ever personally organized myself. Because obviously I had to like call around and figure out where I could charter a bus and then get the right size bus and pay a bunch of money for it. And then I was, like basically selling seats. And of course, I had to like collect like permission slips because a lot of people were kids, so I needed to have their parents' permission to. It's like, hey, I'm taking your child on a bus trip to another state. Don't sue me. Basically. But yeah, those were the days. Oh no. The arcade in your Alapalooza, the arcade in your area burned down. That sucks. I'm in a local arcade group um, on Facebook, and oh man, this sucks too because um, somebody in the group posted pictures the other day. Uh, they had like one of those self storage units, and um, it was full of like pinball and video games, and apparently that self storage facility had a fire, and so he lost all of his games, and he was like posting pictures of just like the burnt out rubble of this building, and you can kind of make out a few cabinets, like pieces of them, but oh geez, what a nightmare. I feel so bad for that guy. Like, I don't know him personally, but I was just looking at the pictures and I was just like, yikes. That's horrible. What if Arcade 1-Up made a DDR? I know somebody, I've seen some pictures of somebody who converted an Arcade 1-Up into a DDR. It's funny, but is the button panel on that Drum Mania different in some way, or are you just remembering wrong? The button panel, as in this button panel, like the start button panel. I don't think it's different. I certainly haven't modified it. Oh, and you like the Pac-Man cabinets too? Yeah, they're cute. I mean, it's kind of a uniquely American design, those. Doesn't Arcade 1-Up only make half-scale cabs? I don't know if it's half-scale, but yes, they are downscaled. Hey, maybe you could play it with your fists. Maybe they would at least make a full-size pad. I don't know. It would be funny. It would be a cute novelty. I don't know that I'd actually want to play on it though. Burning down Wonderland. Yikes. That does sound like a punk like a punk single. Or a punk band even. Arcade Fire. Oh no. Too much. Oh, you got to play right before it burned? That's crazy. That actually reminds me, this was like back in the very late 90s or so, early 2000s. There was a gas station near where my office was, where I worked at the time, and it was I was leaving office one night, and I drove by the gas station and noted that gas was 99 cents a gallon, and I thought, I was like, I'm not going to, like, I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to go home. So I went home, and I thought, I'll just, fill up tomorrow, either on my way to work or on my way home. So I went home that night, and when I came back the next morning to go to work, I drove by that gas station, and it had burned down. Like, not the pumps part, but like the actual building part had burned down. I don't know what happened, and I was just like, well, shit. And what was like funny, not really funny, but like the part of that story that where it gets like kind of goofy is it took them months before they did anything with that space. So it was just like this burnt out gas station that was just sitting there for several months. And, the sign, they didn't bother changing the signs or anything. So it just said, like 99 cents a gallon for months while the gas prices were going up everywhere. So I've just like kept driving by the 99-cent a gallon gas that I didn't get. uh Llama Juice. The trip was September 3rd. Did you just look at the IndieDDR archives for it? Did you go on that trip? I don't I want to say I met you later than that. I don't remember you from that early, but I'm also old and I've forgotten things. April 6, 2002. Okay, that sounds... I thought it was in the spring, so that sounds more right. I could have looked, but I don't know. It's wild that I've kept my photo archive stable. I mean, there's nothing really there's nothing really to break on it. Although I'll tell you two kind of funny things about the IndieDDR photo archives. Number one, I wrote the code for it back in I don't know, 2002, I think. I might have written it in 2001. When I first started posting pictures, I was literally just throwing pictures up there. I didn't have any kind of layout or anything. But then I wrote the code to actually display them in a semi-nice way in 2000, late 2001, probably early 2002. And I wrote it using a date code of only 2 digits for the year. So I basically wrote a year 2100 bug. And I knew that that's what I was doing, and I did not give a shit. Because I figured by 2100, no, I'm not going to be around to care. And then the other thing was, God, I don't remember when it was. It's probably been, I mean, obviously the photo archive is over 20 years old now. But I want to say maybe 10 years ago, I actually did go in and re-upload higher resolution versions of all of the pictures that are there, because the original photo archive, having started in 2001, the pictures I had sized, assuming that many people would still be on dial-up, and so they were pretty small and low res. But of course, nowadays it's we all have higher resolution monitors, and most of us have broadband. So I was let's get some newer, some newer higher resolution versions of those out there. So that's two dumb stories about IndieDDR.com. Are you late? Seems like this stream has been going for 110 minutes. Holy shit, it has, hasn't it? I didn't even know. You're not late because I didn't really... I scheduled it 10 minutes before I started it. So, whatever. I'm just talking. I'm just talking about my day, and then of course we're getting off on 100 tangents because that's how it goes. I have not actually played a single thing yet. 99 cents a gallon. Long time ago. That's true. It really does date it. Went on the archives. You didn't. Okay, I didn't think you went on that trip. I didn't think I met you until quite a bit later. Although I don't know that I would have pulled 2007. AOL still does dial-up internet. Dial-up's still a thing, and for some people, dial-up is still all they've got. Like if you're in kind of remote rural areas, that's all you can really get. But yeah, the majority of people, certainly that are looking at DDR stuff, I think, have broadband at this point. A stream where not one game was played. Well, not yet. I still can. I could play. I could play something. Your user number 16 in the new website. Oh yeah, the Great Reset, as it came to be known. I didn't name that. I just remember that ended up being a thing. The birthday stream. When will I try to e-amuse, and what happened to round 1? When will I try to e-amuse Gitadora? Is that what you're asking, Josh? It's being worked on, but I don't know. I don't know when it will happen or if it will happen before I move on. And what happened to round 1? Nothing happened to round 1. I went to round 1 today in Chicago. I was on a trip. And that's kind of what this whole stream is about, was just me talking about my experience and answering some questions and asking some questions too, which actually reminds me, I have a question. So what opinions do any of you have on Waka? Because I did take some time to play that today, and I think it was maybe my second game ever. So I think my impression, my general impression of it is I like it, but I don't love it. I think to me, the games that I like the most are the games that I like really get into, where I'm playing the game, but I'm also like feeling a feeling, and I'm like grooving to the beat, or I'm freestyling, or I'm just kind of having a good time, and for whatever reason with Waka, I felt it felt very mechanical to me, like I was just playing the game, but not really feeling a part of anything. And that could just be that, like I said, it was only my second game probably ever. And my first game was over a year ago. So it might as well have been my first game today, because that experience is long gone. But it could just be that I'm not that familiar with the game, so I'm more focused on just being able to play it and not able to kind of like, really just I don't have any more I don't have the cycles to be able to like enjoy it on a deeper level, but that isn't. But there are other games that I've played for a first time and felt, you know, and felt like I was having fun. Like U-Beat. The first time I played U-Beat, I was like, wow, I really like this game. You know, immediately I knew I liked it. And I don't know about DDR, actually. Uh, I think DDR was probably more like my second time I knew I really liked it. I think the first time I was doing well just to be able to, like, remain standing. Uh, so, uh, so there's that, I guess. But I'm just kind of curious what anybody else's opinion of Waka is. If there's something that I'm missing, um, from my experience, that you're like, oh, if you just did this, you would probably like it a lot more, and or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for other people's opinions, I guess. Like I said, I like it. It's fine. I enjoyed the game. I just, after I played the one, I just didn't really feel like playing it again. If that makes sense. More recently, a game that's kind of a little bit similar, where I had a different opinion, would be Chinethum. That one, like, I played it and I was like, ooh, this is pretty cool. Like, I really liked it. And it has kind of similar mechanics to Waka. Obviously, it's more flat and not, rounded, but it has a similar gameplay. So, I don't know what it is about Waka that I just didn't. I feel like I'm, this close, but just didn't quite connect with it somehow. Crafty the Fox. You want to play Waka? Your local arcade should be getting it soon. Cool. Tempo. You like it, but you don't play it a whole lot. Yeah, but you'll probably have a phase where you will. That's cool. Josh, I think that was part of it with Waka being easy. Like, I'm sure I'm not. I'm sure I haven't seen everything that the game has to offer, but I know when I played today, I played a level 3, because I just couldn't really remember, like, what the difficulty was like, and that was way too easy. Like, it was boring easy. And so then the next song I played was like a 7, which was not particularly challenging either. And then the third song I played was a 9, which I was like, should I even be able to play this, given that this is basically my first game ever? And, like, I passed it no problem, but unlike the first 2 songs, which I basically full comboed, I did at least miss a few. But I don't know what the scale goes up to, but I thought that felt like, it felt like a higher level than I thought I would have been ready for so early. You said it has a low learning curve, but the higher difficulties can be brutal. Nah, I can certainly believe that. Yeah. I know some people wear gloves. I didn't. Obviously, I wasn't playing that much today, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I know a lot of people wear gloves for Chinethum, too. And, my. Um, I'm just gonna... clear this off, I guess, because it's bothering me now. Oh, nice. I was looking for this cable the other day. Good to know. Good to know it was right there. Alright, random screwdrivers. The hallowed clench wrench. These are super handy for setting the feet on games. P.S. Let's move the giant Costco bottle of Windex. Honestly, this bottle is not especially large, but it definitely came packaged with a gallon jug of Windex, with which I could refill this bottle. So yeah, go Costco. All right. That is not actually all the way clean. My laptop is sitting over here, but it's kind of out of frame, so I guess that's okay. Let me reposition these little dudes. I guess they're kind of mostly out of frame too. They don't have to be. Let's put them here. Also, this cabinet is way dusty because I haven't played it in quite a while. Yeah. Oh, to play the highest difficulty, you need a card. Can you get the cards there at that round one? I didn't ask. I have an EMU's card, but I don't have any cards for any of the other games. I guess I have a pump card, but I actually need to activate it. I am going to, since we're at 2 hours, I'm going to go ahead and play a game just because, why not? The EMU's card will work? That's interesting. Watch, I'm gonna play a game randomly on this stream where I'm just talking and I'll fail it because I picked something that was too hard for me. Is this gonna break? Yep, there. What did I say? I picked one too hard for me. Or at least too hard to play cold. I'm good at games, guys. Did you know? Just picking stuff. I don't have like a... I don't have any goal right now.
果てしなく続いてこそな僕はもう誰にも止められない Future天使と悪魔二つの声が今ささやく白と黒の狭間で不安にかき乱された日 I can feel it 遠ざかってた夢や希望を信じる勇気を見戻して何度も鳴らす僕の胸を史上最大級の敵だって怖くはないもう迷わないで決めたその敵はここにある大地に足踏みつけて見上げた空は追いかけて追いかけてほら地図にない景色は無限大止まらない想いが道しるべさ突き進め My future
'It's probably fine that I failed my first song, because then it just means this game will be shorter. I'm gonna play this because I noticed it the other day when someone requested Breakdown, but of course we were talking about Be For You Breakdown. And I was like, but what is this song? I've not played this one. well. There, I played a game.
また遊んでくださいね
Screen glare. Is it really bad? It wasn't bad for me, but it might have been terrible for the stream because I haven't really looked at it that much. I failed because I misread it. Ooh, you know, you do make a good point. The Waka being not in English and me not being all that familiar with it was definitely a bit of a handicap. So that might have lessened my enjoyment of it a little bit. But oh, screen glare on the drums. Yeah, I need to work on this. It's this setup is not ideal, but it was just me like putting the stream back together and also experimenting on a stream where I'm just kind of like futzing around anyway. So, but actually, what I want to know is, yeah. So the light is basically right there for me. In the play position here, which is suboptimal to be sure, but it's okay because like I'm generally looking down here anyway. But well, I guess while I'm sitting here, I'll go ahead and play this one too. That way they both get played, and I think I'm getting close to the end of this stream just because I don't have a whole lot to talk about, whole lot more to talk about, I don't think. I feel like I should talk more about Dance Rush because it was actually the game that I played the most of today, but I also don't feel like I played it very well. probably should have changed to the different Guitar Freaks and Drum Mania layouts for this, so that I could kind of take a look at what it's like on with the new camera position. But I'm not really satisfied with this camera position anyway, so I'll play with it a little bit tomorrow.
曲を選んでください
We'll see. I'll come up with something better, or I'll go back to the original. We'll see. I can tell I'm tired from today, though. Just like driving and being out. It is also, what,
曲を選んでください
2 o'clock in the morning. That's probably also not helpful.
何を選んでね
the overhead view of the drums. I'm pretty proud of that one, actually. Like, I think that camera position really captures kind of like the motion of the of Drum Mania really well. So, all right, well, wow, this we're at 2.5 hours already. This went way longer than I was expecting, and I'm glad. It's because so many of you like showed up and had things to say and questions to ask and answers to my questions. So, it's been fun. Tempo playing games in Japanese takes you back to when you were a toddler and couldn't read. Well, man, if you've watched any of my streams, you know I frequently reference my Japanese illiteracy. It's definitely a problem for me. But anyway, yeah. I guess the last comments that I have, like I said, I think I've talked about all of the games that I actually played today, but I played the most of Dance Rush, which I think was only ended up being like 3 games, and Dance Rush is only 2 songs per game anyway, so it didn't end up being like that much. But man, you know, I had some awesome tacos before I got to round 1, which were absolutely delicious, but also absolutely just feeling kind of miserable in my stomach trying to play dance games. And I mean, there was nothing wrong with the tacos. It was just that, like, you know, trying to play on a full stomach was kind of a bad time. But it was between the full stomach and not having played in a year and being a little bit low on stamina just because I haven't like played any dance games in a couple of weeks. Man, Dance Rush was a real struggle for me, and you know, these shoes. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not even wearing the shoes that I was wearing today. I actually picked a particular pair of shoes that didn't have a whole lot of tread on them, hoping that they would, slide pretty well, but they didn't slide as well as I would have hoped on that stage. So I'm gonna have to think about what shoes I end up wearing for Dance Rush in the future. But oh well, live and learn, I guess. Anyway, I really wish I had more to say about Dance Rush, but because I think the game is great and I really enjoy it. But my experience with it today, I think, was kind of tempered by other factors that have more to do with me and less to do with the game itself. So I just don't have a lot to say right now. But overall, like, I had a great time at round 1. I did take that one picture by Midnight Tune. And posted it to the Discord just because it was funny, because we get that one guy that comes into the stream sometimes and just like, you should play Midnight Tune, and it's just like, I'm not even playing a driving game. Why do you keep asking this? And then he just like goes on and on until I end up blocking him because it's just nonsense. I don't know, but I thought it was funny that they had it there, and so I was like, took a picture with it. I didn't actually play it, but there it was. So that was funny. Okay. Well, Anyway, I think that's all I've got, and it doesn't seem like any of you have any more questions. So I'm just gonna wrap this one up for tonight. Thanks again, as always, for showing up and participating in the chat. It makes it way more fun from this end, and I'll probably be back. I'm probably gonna actually do like a for real Ghidorah stream. I was gonna say tomorrow, but it's today already, Thursday, and I will probably try and do it a little bit earlier. I know we did the earlier time the last time I streamed, which was, gosh, was that Sunday already? I can't even remember. Sunday or Monday. Oh, Discord. the Discord. Plug the Discord. Okay. Yeah, I should do that. I'm bad at things, right? Where are you at? Invite. Copy. Paste. There it is. I think everybody that's on tonight is already in the Discord, but if you're not, there's an invite. So join us. Was it Saturday? Gosh, it's been a long time. This week has been really something. I got out of the house. I left town. Got to play some games. Crazy. Ate a bunch of food. Man, I ate so much food the last 2 days in Chicago. I love eating, just so you know. You were building a chair that day. Excellent. How is the chair? Is it good? Is it comfortable? What kind of a chair? What kind of a chair are we talking? Are we talking like living room furniture chair? Or are we talking like office chair? Gaming chair? For gamers. But yeah, we had a bunch of Korean food, and then Mexican food. It was all delicious. Totally worth the drive. Not that I can't get that stuff closer to home, but Chicago, oddly enough, is either better or cheaper than here than here in Indiana. Like there is good Korean food to be had near me, but it's pretty expensive because there's only like 2 or 3 Korean restaurants in town, and of course in Chicago there's like a ton. So I think they're a little more price competitive, and the food is good. So epic gamer chair. Excellent. Is it all you hoped it would be? How is the assembly? Did it go well? Were there extra parts? Were there missing parts? I hope not. I'll give you a couple minutes to respond, or a minute to respond, but I'm terrible at wrapping these things up, aren't I? It's fine. Awkward silence while I wait to hear something about the epic gamer chair. TM. It came with exactly as many parts as needed. Excellent. And you like it? That's what I want to know. Do you like it? I hope you do. I truly do. I probably need to think about getting a new chair, honestly. My desk chair, it's fine, but it's nothing special. Took a bit over an hour, and you're sweating by the end of it. Running on little sleep. Man, isn't that always the way? That's going to be me tomorrow, since that's coming up on 2:30 in the morning, and I'm still up. But that's okay. You like it, though it took you a bit to get used to it. Very good. Your Epic Gaming chair is an ITG Dedicap. Okay, so you may or may not know my opinions on ITG. I'm like, I don't want to be negative about it, but it's definitely not my favorite game. But I will say that I think objectively ITG is kind of a shitty chair. I mean, DDR and Pump are too. Like, it's awfully low and kind of flat and hard, probably cold. But you know, whatever. Definitely better than the chair you were previously using. Well, good. I'm glad it's an upgrade for you. I can remember back when I was, you know, like college age or something like that, and you know, I had like the shitty $30 or $40 chair from Best Buy that, you know, about 6 months in, you can like feel the screws digging into your ass because there's like hardly any padding in it, and it's just like a piece of garbage. I'm glad I'm beyond that chair at this point, but but I definitely like the chair that I'm sitting in now is a few years old, and it's fine. It's still good, but it could be better, and it's also the upholstery starting to get a little bit torn up because by the cats. So I could probably go with a more leathery thing rather than a fabricy thing. You don't have real chairs in your room, let alone a bed. I'm just giving you shit, man. It's fine. I have certainly sat down on my on DDR before, so like it's not the worst, but as chairs go, it's not great. Yeah, that if your oof sounds painful is in regard to the shitty $30-$40 chairs from Best Buy. That's not the chair that I'm sitting in now at my desk. Actually, the chair that I'm sitting in at my desk is from Autonomous, the same as the desk that I have, which is, you know, a convertible standing desk. So it's pretty nice, but not as nice as the desk. The desk is better than the chair, I think, but the chair's not bad. DDR has the side ledges to sit on. Yeah, it does. They're a little narrow though. And then the back is really straight, right? You're like, so. Anyway, okay. We're just goofing off at this point. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thanks again, everyone. It's been great kind of talking with you all and you know, talking about games because it's fun. And hopefully I'll see you a little bit later today with an actual like real game stream. So hope you'll have a good night, get some sleep, and I'll see y'all later.